Hey everybody, welcome to another on-court, off-court Game Changers. I am, my guest today is of course Kalindi, Dinoffer, CMO of On-Court, Off-Court. And we're also very privileged to have Davor Dekaris from Tennis Haus on. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you for having me. Looking forward to it today.
Yeah, awesome to be here, and thanks so much as always, Billy and Davor. Thanks so much. We're so excited to have you and to have an awesome conversation.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. I know Davor's got a bunch of cool stuff to share, and we're excited to get into it. So I wanted to start off just with a kind of, I'm kind of behind the scenes. I've been working with on-court, off-court about 7 or 8 years. And I'm always amazed at the relationships that Joe and Kalindi have, and just these, just really great people, cool stories, just wrapped around tennis and life and everything else. So I'm always really intrigued in the, the origin story or the how we got connected kind of thing. And so, Davor, I'd love to hear, from your point of view, how did you get connected with on-court, off-court, with Joe, Kalindi, everybody? How did that relationship start?
All right, that must have been a long time ago. So I started Tennis Haus 2016. Almost forgot. I was looking for great tools on court, obviously, and off court to implement in my teaching. And yeah, what other company than on court, off court is as big and as well known, not just in the US. I'm from Germany, and people know their product all over the world. I think I contacted Kalindi. I saw some things, I had my first Tennis Haus event, I think 2016 or 2017. And, I just asked, if she can send me some product over, and that's how it all started, I think. And then I fell in love. There's so many things I'm using in my daily teaching. And that's how we started. So it's about, let's say, roughly like 10 years, almost, that on-court, off-court supports me and the clubs I worked at, and I'm very thankful for that relationship.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It's always sweet to hear like the stories. It's like, of course you live it, and I could have told the same version from my perspective, but it means a lot, because this is I think I know I've shared this with Billy before, like this kind of thing and these kinds of conversations and getting to like support awesome events and coaches, like that's like my absolute favorite part of my job. Like, maybe it's a slight problem because I like giving things away, but I'm like, oh, it's actually like I like it when people ask for donations, because then I get to give things to them and then everyone's happy. And then Billy's over here like, I thought we were trying to, we're supposed to like sell things occasionally, and then my dad's listening to this like, oh boy.
I've been the recipient of a few of those things as well. And actually, I love it because we're going to get a chance to see your son in a little bit. But my son, who never plays tennis at all, was one of the first video guinea pigs of a particular tool that we'll get to look at later. And I just love watching the difference of my son trying to figure out this thing, and then watching your son and his amazing backhand. Kalindi is an on-court, off-court, extremely generous, great product set, everything. But Davor, I'd love to hear more just about you. Please, could you share with us just your experience, your background? What are you doing now? Where do you come from? Just give us kind of a bio or a background on you and tennis and life.
Yeah, I'll try to keep it short. So I was born and raised in Germany, in Berlin, and I moved to the US about 15 years ago. So over there, I did my master's degree in Spanish and sports science. I wanted to be a teacher in high school over there and teach a little bit of tennis and have a nice, easy, chilled life. And then somehow I ended up in the US, and that wasn't close to New Orleans. It's in Covington, Mandeville. It's about 30 miles north from New Orleans. And I found a club I worked before like for 10 years, and now I'm the tennis director at Chifuncta Country Club. It's a beautiful club in Covington, Louisiana, and I'm the current tennis director there, and have a blast. And playing and teaching wise, I always taught. When I was 15, I started already helping out at my first club in Germany, in Berlin, and And then I taught there about 12 years. And then when I came to the US, it became my main job because that's the sports is a little bit different in the US. It's well more respected, you know, if you do something in the sports industry. And I like that very much. And that made me stay in tennis and in teaching because, yeah, it's still a very good route to go in the US. If you work hard, you're still going to get rewarded for that. So that's my background in that sense. And then I started Tennis Haus about 2016. You know, I get easily bored and I needed to do something that keeps me 24 hours busy. So Tennis Haus is something I'm married to now. I'm lucky my wife lets me do that because it's a lot of time, you know, and time consuming to do online things, as you two know. And yeah, that's how it all started.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm, laughing as the way you describe that. So I feel like that's like, the people such as yourself in the industry that are full-time, directors and coaches, and then they have some other thing. Like, they just always talk about it so matter of fact, and no one's saying how being a director and a coach is already a more than full-time job. That's that's already practically 24/7. And then the fact that you're a parent, your son, how old is he?
He just turned 9, and then I have 2 other kids that are a little bit older. So yeah, everything, as you said, being a tennis director, you have a team you have to lead, and there's way more. There's you probably count 40 to 60 hours a week there for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, amazing, and I don't know how you do it all.
Yeah, well, if you're driven by something you like, I think that's the most important. Like what you do, and what Billy does. Like when you have passion for something, it's easy, then it's doable.
So Davor, how with all that going on, how often do you actually get to play? I'm always asked that question. The coach, it's almost like that chef, right? You're the chef, you come home, you don't want to cook for your family kind of thing. How often do you get to actually go out there and play, and what's that look like?
Yeah, so I think you have 2 types of people or coaches that used to play at the okay level. Some still love to play every day, although they're, have all their jobs and working and families. And then you have some like me that absolutely don't want to play anymore because I cannot do what I used to do, and I get frustrated then. And so I decided, I dedicate every moment I have when I don't have to teach is dedicated to my son. And my wife gets obviously a little bit too, but could be more. I know that. But as you said, when you come home after 9-10 hours, it's not easy to drive back where you just worked and then hit with the rest of the family. So my wife forgave me and she understands. So we hit sometimes. Let's put it this way. I hope she doesn't watch this. And then the rest my son gets. Whenever I have a moment, I go out with my son, and it doesn't matter how tired I am, I drive back and hit with him.
Well, it's obviously paying off. This might be a great time. I'm gonna actually share my screen real quick. I'd love to watch the short video of your son. Now this became a bit of an internet sensation, didn't it? What kind of viral activity did we get out of this? What kind of search or views do we get?
This was I didn't intend. First of all, I market, and share some things obviously, and on court, off court, and this one I just wanted to share the Infinity Play machine, So I just wanted to share it, and that one, the Play system, and that one had over probably more now, 700,000 views or something, close to 1 million now. And then, but the thing is, what was crazy about that was people started just to write me, where did you get that from, right? And usually you get about 20-40 comments maybe, and that one just didn't stop. So I think if you would have produced 10,000 of those, I think we could have sold 10. I try to answer everyone on there, go to on court, off court, and that was for me first time that ever happened as well on social media, that something just took off crazy like that. That wasn't even intended on my side, so that makes it even more special.
That's awesome. Yeah, let me just share my screen real quick. We'll pull that up. So here's your son. I also want to just kind of lay out the scene a little bit here, right? So We got the Infinity Play System. Kalindi, can you share a little bit about the Infinity Play System, just kind of what the product is, how it works?
Yeah, so this is a really neat product. I know, my dad and our team were working on this product for a few years to fine tune and develop it. Because normally, okay, you play with a ball machine and you have to go pick up the balls after, and you can't just do it, in a confined space. So with this, it's in an infinite loop cycle. So as you'll see in a moment, the ball's going to throw out, and it can do all the different kinds of tennis balls, like the transition, red, orange, green, regular, as well as pickleballs. And you hit it back into the netting, and then it feeds back out again. So you can practice, anywhere, in a backyard, a driveway. I think this is inside the house.
Yeah,
Davor, recommend that, on our website. You don't want to be responsible for broken windows, but your son's so good that he can control it. And yeah, that was insane. I mean, that was our first viral, any association with anything, because I think it was 500 or 5,000 comments. And yeah, I definitely think we sold out of our we don't keep 10,000 of them on hand. So we'll see, because I know we've actually done some improvements since this version and have sent that over to Davor. So there's going to be a fun part two video. And just so impressed with his son at such a young age to just be so good.
Yeah. So Davor, where is this exactly? Where is this set up here?
Yeah. So first of all, I have to tell you guys that pink sofa you see on the left, that was a present from someone. It's not there anymore, right? So, I got my friends were making fun of me. No, but when you come into the main door, there's I have 2 living rooms. I'm lucky. And this living room is like our tennis living room. So, but the new Infinity Play System that Kalindi sent me, I'm gonna put that together, and then he can just practice. That's a living room we don't use. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So your son just turned 8, and so looks like working on some acceleration through the ball. So we're gonna watch the video all the way through. I actually I had the first time I saw this, I had to see it 3 or 4 times. I was like, man, I am I'm jealous. All right, here we go. Hello.
That's all right. It's gonna...
I'm on now. That's why we can get to edit this part out.
Yeah, no problem. It's gonna work.
That's not playing.
Good. Turn, step in. Good. Here we go. Learn how to hit that ball with pace. Good. Good, man. Good, no. Finish over your shoulder. Good.
Wow, that is so impressive.
Over a year ago, yeah. And just have to say one thing. It's an older video, and he's with Head now on A6. So just if the Head and A6 people watch, he's with Head and A6 now, and part 2 is coming soon. We changed him to a one-hander, so that should be fun. I can't wait to shoot that one.
That's gonna be awesome. Yeah, we'll have part 2. We got new sponsors. We got a new stroke. We got the whole new and improved.
An improved Infinity Play System. Oh yeah, but yeah, he's very, very impressive, and obviously great coaching. I have a question, because my dad coached me for a few years when I was a junior, I was, pretty much all out with it between 11 and 15, 16 when I had some injuries and stopped. But how is that dynamic with your son? Does that work seamlessly? Are there ever any challenges? And we may have asked you, I know a few years back with Emma Doyle in the pandemic, we did the whole symposium with parents and all of that. So this is just bringing me back to that for a moment. But I have to ask on here.
It is challenging, So as you saw when Roger Federer said, the coaches of their kids know everything better, right? And he doesn't know anything. It's the same, daddy just bothering him and annoying him, right? But I know how kids work. So what I try to do is, I try to mix it up. So I ask him always when he wants to do playful things or things that are fun. we do those then first, or whenever he wants to do them, he knows it's coming during the lessons. And then I explain to him certain things, he has to know and he has to learn. So at the beginning, that didn't work that well, but then he lost one match to a kid he did not want to lose. And then when they start losing, not always winning, they come and ask and seek for advice. So for sure, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to be one of the parents that's, going to scream or force him to do something. I've seen too many of those parents, and that didn't work out. And sometimes you couldn't even heal the scars of those relationships in the future, down the road. So definitely, even if that day comes where he doesn't want to play anymore, I'm going to try to make him play once a week. But as of now, he loves and wants to play every day. So for sure, I'm not going to force him. He knows everything better, obviously, as kids are. But I try to be as patient as I can with him, and and then just be there when he asks me for. And he understands things pretty well, and that makes it for me easier too. But it's not easy, obviously. It's one of the hardest things to do.
Well, sounds like you're doing an amazing job. I love those ideas of like something fun, and you're taking that role of like letting him come to you for advice. Like that's that's perfect. And yeah, it looks like he's having a lot of fun with it, and is obviously very, very talented. And I look forward to seeing where the journey takes him. Like I've always just feel like tennis is so amazing at teaching so many like life skills. I feel like I have that perspective more now than when I was younger. Like just so many things. It's like it's a little microcosm that you could take almost any situation in a tennis match and kind of like apply that to life, so that on and off the court elements.
Cheating, stress, all those things. Yes, the pressure, dealing with making your own schedule, like everything, as you said, it's like his own thing. And then I just wanted to bring one little thing up, we didn't talk about it. It's just from my end, the Infinity Play system. When parents are out there, usually, tennis is still not the cheapest sport in the world, and I tell all my parents, when you have time and the Infinity Play system is affordable, get one, because everything you do off court will pay off, and the kids they're gonna make a leap. They're gonna jump up in level and everything, because it's all about the repetitions. Once they do the stroke well, it's all about repeating it, and then that's why I love this system so much. Is obviously my son, I think he's in good hands technically, and then I just can let him hit, and then all the reps you get in, you just advance so much faster, because you can do that at home, and that's what parents hopefully, going to see, and they're going to, you can use it with the regular balls, orange, with red, you can put everything in that machine, and then they can just practice. So I really, I would buy that every day and night if I would be a tennis parent. That's so important.
Thanks, Davor. Yeah, really appreciate that. And I love, I have appreciation for all of our products, but I have some that are like I get more excited about. And some of them are from like, oh, I'm attached to them because I used them when I was playing. And this is one of the newer ones within the last 2 years. And I'm like, yeah, this is like really cool. Like I wish I had this.
Yeah, I wish I would have. Yeah, for me the same.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Davor, I'd love to hear more about Tennis Haus in general. Haus. How do you say it? You're a German.
Yeah.
You can give me the real pronunciation, right? How do you pronounce the Haus? I want to get it like that. Then.
Oh, it's pretty similar. It's Haus. Haus.
All right.
Yeah.
I always just butchered it, thinking I had to be a little more.
You can, like, if you had some beers, it can be like Haus, but no, it's similar. And then so. That was, it's so hard to get websites and the trademarks and copyrights, and for names. And then I was looking, HOUSE was taken. So, and then I had to come up, or like a friend of mine actually helped me. We came up with that name. So then you can get the domains. And then after that, actually, it's really funny. It's true story. Everything is Haus now. So I really, like, if someone is out there that there was something before 2016 that was like, I don't know, kitchen house, pickleball house, I don't know, whatever is out there. So I don't think that was before that. So that's really cool. That was fun. But, you get the domain and you get, Yeah, maybe,
Oh.
but it's fun. It's fun to see.
That's awesome. I think it looks way cooler like this.
Yeah, that's something special.
Yeah, definitely represents you well.
With like your heritage and all of that. I feel like I always feel like the webinars, at least many of the ones we've done in the past, you know, they've gotten a little bit fun and joking around. So then I just had this flash of like, I could start practicing my German, but then Billy would just be watching and then no one else would understand. But I get excited.
That's awesome.
Ein bisschen sprechen, aber es ist ein bisschen rusty.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, that was good.
I can understand a lot. My vocabulary is limited, but I grew up speaking it and going every summer. I've never been to Berlin though, but
you should have gone to the Labor Cup. That would have been fun.
Oh,
yeah, I'm sure that was amazing. I bet.
So Davor, tell us more about Tennis Haus and just kind of what you're doing, and just all the different parts that are going on. I know you also have an upcoming event, so we'd love to hear about that as well.
Yeah, so I mean, Tennis Haus started off in a group on Facebook 2016, where I personally invited all the tennis coaches that I could find on Facebook and my friends, and it just was kind of a hand-picked group, and just grew and grew, and I just put my coaching in there, and it started to grow, and it was well received. So you're always nervous. You don't know if you do things good or not, and it went well. So then the Facebook group grew, and I think I had like 13,000, and all of those were probably like 60-70% coaches and general managers, tennis directors, all that. It was a really fun group, but then Facebook started to restrict things and got Instagram to do something new, and then there it really took off. Put my coaching basically on there at the beginning, and shared a lot of other coaching from great coaches that I knew, and I felt they're great. And then this just took off and grew, and I'm almost at 300,000 followers. And then once you're like really big, I still share some things, obviously, but then I have a lot of my own content now, and I like to go a few times a year. I went to Indian Wells, to Paris, to the French Open, went to a few events, and I like to take some cool footage from my journeys now, and not just the coaching part and coaching things, and so it works well. So that all grew, and basically it's a platform that shares tennis education. I did a lot of interviews. Mary Pierce, Philip Poussis, Anna Cohn, like all those big guys. And I just started doing something. I had my first one with Boyer. He's like 230 in ATP rankings. And I want to showcase a little bit the lower players that are like trying to get into the top 200, 150, and 100, So I think everyone talks always about the top guys. And this podcast is going to be, or I started it off, is going to be with the guys and ladies and guys that are like about 200 to 600. So I have about 40 of those lined up. So I thought that would be nice to showcase them and help in any capacity that I can help. And as you mentioned, the Tennis Haus, it transformed from a pure tennis conference where we had only coaches to a Tennis Haus weekend, I call it. And I invite former stars and great tennis coaches. So this year so far, I have Arantxa Sanchez, Emilio Sanchez, Luke Jensen, Ashley Neves, the tennis mentor. When you look on Instagram, he's a great guy, as well as Jonathan Stokey, and working on another famous player who won 2 Grand Slams, a lady. And so it's a fun weekend where they share their knowledge, certain topics, and we have a lot of players, coaches, directors. It's a full weekend, and Encore off court always supplies me with some fun items, and I love that event. It's a fun weekend of tennis, and if you appreciate the game and have a lot of love for the game, that's something certainly people around the New Orleans area and Alabama and Mississippi, people from Florida, from Texas, from Arkansas, like all over, they come and want to be part of it.
Awesome. What's the dates, Davor?
November 2nd is the main date, and I still do some clinics on November 1st, but that's more like, you have to finance that somehow. And and the sponsors, without sponsors, I couldn't have that event. So it's all sponsor based. For the coaches that come on Saturday, it's almost for free for what they get. And I don't seek any money. Like for me, the main most important thing is that people in our area in Louisiana, that they're able to be around those former legends and just have a great time. It's easier if you're in Miami, or if you're like in LA. It's so much easier to get all those guys there, but to come to like 30,000 people village, it's pretty cool. I don't know, I just made the number up. We don't have so many inhabitants here, so
yeah, that's awesome.
So cool. And yeah, your podcast really need to be supporting like that tier of the players. Because I think,
Yes.
watching the pros on TV or at matches, it's like, oh wow, so glamorous. But I don't know at what point it even reaches a break-even point. Top 100, top 50. It's very, at the farther back levels, when those up and comers, I'm sure that's very challenging. Lots of travel and not very much money.
No, the first one I had was amazing. I was almost blown off. He just won a challenger, won $5,000, and he's like, "Yeah, basically you don't have any. You even lose almost money." I was like, "All right, tough."
Yeah. So Davor, where's the best place that people can connect with you? You mentioned your Instagram account. Is that kind of the best place for people to connect?
Yeah, Instagram account for sure. I'll check daily my messages there, and then and my Facebook page as well. That's exactly. And then I have a Facebook page that started to take over and explode. I have about 80,000, and it's just growing like crazy. I started off like a year ago with 5,000 on there, I think. So it's just growing as well, super fast. So if someone has Facebook, it's the Tennis Haus Facebook page, and if you like more Instagram, that's the page there, and that's it.
Awesome. Yeah, looks like you got some cool
she might really put
trainings,
this,
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, fun stuff.
Like it. Great. Well, that's awesome, Davor. You got a lot of great stuff going on, and just very interesting stories. And we're so appreciative that you would take the time to share. And it's just awesome to see what you're doing with the Tennis Haus and your son. And I'm sure we're gonna have your son on someday pretty soon, because he's gonna be out there making it happen. And so yeah, we really appreciate your time and just sharing with us. And so thank you very much. And we appreciate you having on. We'll have to have you again on, and we'd love to see the next iteration of the Infinity Play video with your son.
Yeah,
and looking forward to all that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Billy.
Yeah, awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks so much, Davor. And just to everyone watching this, Davor is awesome. And if you get the chance to ever go to Tennis Haus, it's really neat. His mission's amazing. And as we discussed earlier, he's already Superman because of juggling everything of, parenting and being a director and coaching and Tennis Haus. So yeah, all with like a, mission that's near and dear to his heart and really supports the industry. So it's,
thanks, Kalindi.
A privilege to be in touch like this and get to have this kind of conversation and share and to support your mission and appreciate all of your support. That's where I feel like the tennis industry, it's like one big family, and I've always really liked that about it. Like it's a real community.
Yeah, that's true. And then thank you as well, and thank you for all the support over the years and the ongoing support, and thank you for being so creative. I mean, like I use so many tools. I made a list here. Like I had it. I just wanted the angle doctor. Like I use that one a lot. The perfect pitch rebounder, I like that one as well. So you can keep the kids as well busy on the court when you use it. The serve doctor. There's so many things. Like the snap racket, the serving socks. So those are my. I made a little list of my top 7, 8, and I use them. And then especially the snap racket, I use it a lot for the serve. That helped so many of my students. And I would never do that if it wouldn't help, or I wouldn't believe in it. So I really do think I wish I would have had those ideas, but you guys were quicker. So kudos to the whole team and everyone in there. No, thank you for all the support for the products. I do that here with you guys because I love what you guys are doing, and it's helping me and all the tennis players out there. And I appreciate you. And Billy, thank you so much. It was awesome to get to meet you, and hopefully you can stay in touch.
Yeah, likewise, definitely will. And I doubt this will be our last conversation. And so it was great chatting. Yeah, we appreciate you and your time, and we'll definitely do this again. So everyone, make sure you go check out on Instagram, Facebook, Tennis Haus. Check out Davor and everything they're doing. And so we appreciate everybody taking time to watch this. Thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next Game Changers.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Davor. Thanks, Billy.